So I'll talk about like our problem statement first of all. Like every year, thousands of students walk into interviews for like college admissions or a first job without ever having like a real practice run. And like if they do, uh, like prepare for it, most of it goes into rehearsing like what to say and never actually into understanding what it actually sounds like. So like mock interviews with a teacher, mentor, or like counselor, they're hard to schedule and not everyone really has access to that kind of feedback. So most students like either end up practicing alone or like in front of a mirror, and they never actually find out if they're speaking too fast, rambling, or relying on like filler words and like until the interview is actually over and they lost the job. And even when practice does actually happen, the feedback's usually vague, something like you seemed a little bit nervous without anything specific to actually work on. And I have a few statistics that I'd want to say. 93% of candidates actually experience interview-related anxiety and freezing up under like a tough question because not the lack of qualification, it's because they don't actually know how to answer that. And there's also the preparation gap. Candidates typically spend 5 to 10 hours preparing for a single interview and not actually feeling good about how it actually went. And then there's also the delivery blind spot. Most interview prep goes into rehearsing answers, but never actually understanding the delivery, tone pacing, and the filler words, the things that actually shape how confident someone actually sounds. That's exactly the gap that VoxCoach AI will try to fill in. Okay, so I'll try to give you a walkthrough of our app. This is the dashboard. We have a little bit of information here. It's pretty simple right now. It just talks about like what the app actually gives you. So like the pace and fill words ticker, the live voice and spectrum engine, the interactive AI evaluation matrix, which is like the personalized AI feedback. And then underneath that is actually where you would record yourself. So like if I would start the simulator, it gives you a practice question. So like, can you describe a specific time where you had to navigate a conflicting priority from a stakeholder and an operational constraint within your team, and how you managed to achieve a mutually beneficial outcome for all parties involved? So then I would click this button right here, allow access to my microphone, and then it'll say whatever I'm saying. So if I say a word like, the word like, the filler word count should go up after I complete and review the matrix. So then it analyzes the response. It's clear that, and it gives you like feedback right here. So you can read through all of it. And that's basically all we have right now for the app. But like to sum it up, like what's built right now is like the tone and confidence analysis and the filler word detection and like the personalized feedback reports. But like a challenge I would say when making this was like to actually, I guess, let AI know that this is something that a human would actually experience in an interview and like how to actually get around that. And something in the future that I'd like to add on this project is like right now it's just the audio, but in an interview like in person, it's not just what you're saying, it's like your whole body language, what you're wearing, a lot of it depends on that. So like I want to add an eye contact tracking and like body language feedback for a fuller picture of like your delivery. And second, an expanded question library. So like adding technical interviews, case style interviews, and like scholarship or leadership interviews. For example, being like president of a like school club or like in college, maybe a club. And then third, maybe personalized coaching over time, spotting reoccurring patterns across the students' sessions and suggesting targeted exercises like drills for reducing the filler words that they're saying or slowing down how fast they're actually talking. And then fourth, mobile access so students can run a quick practice round anywhere, not just on a desk, so they can just pull out their phone out of their pocket and record. And fifth, maybe a peer and mentor sharing, letting students actually like share a session report with a teacher, counselor, or mentor for added human feedback on top of the AI analysis. So this isn't like a finished project yet. There's like plenty of room to improve on or like add. But that's basically VoxCoach AI, and I'm happy to answer any questions or go deeper into any part.
Yeah, sure. So, what is the like which LLM or how is it transcribing and how accurate is it right now?
Um, it uses Grok AI right now
Yeah.
for this. That's how it gives the feedback.
Hmm. Okay, so it's using Grok right now.
Hmm.
I mean, there are a lot of things in an interview that's, as you said, becomes a factor. Uh, some of it, which is right now not that practical, which is the underlying tone, it could be sarcasm. These things are also there. So, if you like had to work on that, how would you do that?
Um, I would probably say like me as like a user could give it input saying that like sometimes the person taking the interview could be sarcastic and like how would I respond to that? Like try to give it some information so it knows like what you're trying to say, and like I'm sure we could train a model specific for that that can like run those simulations over and over again so that it gives like a proper answer.
Okay. So, have you used machine learning anywhere? Have you trained a model over a data set for this project?
Yeah, I'm actually working on a research paper right now, and I tested models on like Claude Sonnet, I think
Mhm.
GPT 5.0.
Okay. All right. And if you were to market it and make sure that this product reaches to the right set of audience, what would that audience be and how would you do it? Like, what are the go-to-market strategy?
I would say the audience would be, uh, it could potentially be like high school students that are like seniors when they're applying to colleges, uh,
Hmm.
for like their interviews, or uh, I would say around 20 years old to 30 years old for like, if they're trying to interview for a job. Like it's definitely like if you're over 30, you can't do this, but I would say that's where the most input could go, and potentially maybe advertising on LinkedIn, because a lot of people like try to find jobs on there, and they could see, oh, I'm doing an interview about this, I want to prepare for it, so then they'll use VoxCoach AI.
Okay, understood. Uh, and what was the biggest difficulty that you had while making this project?
Like I said, it was difficult to talk about what response should you give to the person asking questions in an interview. So, like, I guess the correct answer to questions.